This is the story of a prince and a slave. It all started with a young orphaned girl having been discarded by her parents at a young age. Not realizing they did not want her, she wandered the world doing what she could to survive. Homeless, the girl remembered one day wandering around the streets and finding half a loaf of bread to eat. That bread was subsequently snatched by a hound, and determined not to lose her rare meal, the girl gave chase to it and followed it all the way to a fishing village. Nothing impressive, but a lively and nice place, home to several families. The residents of the village were kind enough to take the girl in. However, no sooner did the girl stop running, the hound also stopped running, immediately keeling over and dying, never getting up again. Perhaps it was the case that the dog was just as lost and hungry as the girl was. And had the girl known how weak the creature was, she would have allowed it to take the bread. After that, the girl was taken in by the villagers. However, things only started to go wrong from there. The village chief, who had shown immense kindness to the girl, fell ill and died the following winter. The harvest got worse, and the fishermen were catching less and less by the day. Without the chief around to mediate the situation, it was all too easy to blame the girl. She was branded a living curse, and the downfall of the village became her fault. So, when they finally showed up, it was all too easy to get rid of her. Slave traders and asylum seekers from a nearby land coming to reap profit off of people's lives. They wanted her gone so badly and were so willing to send her away, they didn't even give those monsters her name. "She's a curse," they shouted. "She's a monster. She harbors and controls death. Curse! Get that curse out of here!" Thus, with little to no option, when she was finally branded with a hot iron, they stamped exactly that. The word curse in their native language. Bashuliga. Several years passed, and the cycle repeated and repeated. She was passed around from home to home as a rental slave, tortured and beaten every day. It got so bad, trauma suppressed the memory of her original name. Bashuliga was all that remained. And that was what the slave believed her whole life would be from then on, until one day they came across a kingdom. It was there that the slave met a rather curious young man, the prince of the kingdom. The prince was disappointed by what he saw and ended up buying the slave from the traders, but when they were finally gone, he uncuffed her arms and legs and never strapped them back on again. "A small price to pay for your freedom," he said, "not that you could put a value on a person's life anyway." The slave, however, was angry and suspicious of the prince's intentions. She believed he had an ulterior motive and demanded that he tell her what it was. However, the prince had no such ill intentions. The slave had grown so used to being abandoned, mistreated, and abused, she had grown to believe that there was no such thing as a good person in the world anymore. However, here one stood in front of her. "You have fire," the prince said. "When you grow up, I would very much like for you to lead my army into battle." "I have no training in the ways of combat," the slave said. "I only know how to run to save my own skin. I am nothing more than a curse, and you shouldn't be around me." "If destiny does exist, then there must be a reason that allows you to survive long enough so that you may meet with me," he told her. "Those whose names stick around are the ones who emerge from the storms unscathed, and the ones who get swept away do not deserve to be a part of our world. If you ever come across one idiot who tells you you're a scapegoat just because you survived, then you tell them that Prince Gaston demands to have the honor alongside you." The prince reached out a hand, which the slave took. "You say the names of those who emerge from the storm sticks around," the slave said, "but I do not remember my own name. All I know is Bashuliga, curse." The prince smiled and held her hand tightly. "Then you shall remain Bashuliga, and you shall be a curse upon our enemies."
Captain, the unknown travelers have been located, just as you instructed.
Good. In that case, prepare to engage.
Wait, what? Engage? But, Captain, we haven't affirmed whether or not these strangers are dangerous yet. They could simply be visitors.
Are they armed?
Wait, what?
Answer the damn question, soldier. Are they armed? Are they carrying weapons?
Well, yes, they are. But even so, that's...
Are they registered? Is there any record of them coming into the land legally?
Well, no, they haven't.
Then when did I give you the right to issue your own orders?
Ah! Yes, Captain! I'll rally the soldiers together immediately!
Good. Just so long as we understand each other. I don't know who you are or where you came from, but this is my land. And if you think about threatening its safety, I'm going to be your curse.